Let's enjoy together the Nvidia GTC. I haven't seen it yet, so this is recorded, but I'm watching it almost live. So this is how I'm gonna watch this with my cash on hand, just in case. But really, what I'm waiting for is DLSS Advanced, because I'm not gonna buy the new GPUs, but if Nvidia announces a new DLSS, so right now we are DLSS 2, if they announce DLSS 3, and if it's compatible with the 30 series, which it should, I mean, it would be crazy if they locked the DLSS evolution to the new GPUs. It would be just infuriating, to be honest. But let's see. I'm really hopeful. So first, yeah, that's a ray trace demo. It's amazing. Let me first set up the settings on the TV. I am using the internal apps, which I don't usually use. That looks incredible. It looks photorealistic. Let me set up the settings on the TV first, because I never use the internal apps. So I'm on filmmaker mode. Let me lower the brightness for the recording so you can see it, but for my eyes too, because I'm too close to the screen. That that Razer X demo looks insane. I'm gonna see if I can download that. They usually have those demos available for download, and they look incredible. Look at that. That's how I want the games to look. Just insane. Yeah, I have the motion clarity settings messed up. I'm going to set it up after the demo. That looks so impressive, man. That's what I want. The game to look like this. And it is possible. It is absolutely possible. Yeah, motion clarity settings are messed up. That video should be at 30. It's definitely not 4K. It was a live stream. I mean, it's still live. I just rewinded to the beginning because I didn't catch it up on the beginning. It looks very good. Let me change the motion clarity settings because I don't have the good settings here. So the other 10 is not. Yeah, it looks like it was working. So maybe the video is at 60. Let me see if the blur helps. No. Well, the video is at 30. The blur is not helping. Yeah, the blur is not helping. So that video is at 30. Cinema screen on is going to lock the frame rate of the TV, so the frequency of the TV, to the frame rate of the content, which is exactly what we're looking for when we use the motion clarity settings. Let's see if I get the... Yeah, it started 21 minutes ago, you see. It's still in progress.
Let me tell you how we did it. We introduced the programmable shading GPU nearly a quarter of a century ago. GPUs revolutionized 3D graphics and created a medium with an infinite power.
Cyberpunk, I told you. That's what they're gonna talk about.
We launched Nvidia RTX.
Because that game's still running like crap.
Programmable shaders with two new processors. RT cores accelerate real-time ray tracing. Tensor cores process matrix operations central to deep learning. RTX opened a new frontier for computer scientists, and a flood of new algorithms have appeared.
As far as I
The
know,
era of RTX neural rendering has started. Today, we're announcing Ada Lovelace, our third generation
big boy.
RTX. One Ada GPU
The big
powers
boy.
Racer X. This generation is named after mathematician
I
Ada
was gonna say that
Lovelace,
as far as
who
I
is
know,
often
the
regarded
DLSS
as the world's
2.0
first computer
doesn't
language.
use the tensor cores. It is all software.
To create the 4N process.
The 1.0, it was using the tensor core, but the latency was too high. So I'm hoping
and over 18,000 CUDA cores, 70% more than the Ampere generation.
18,000.
Involves all three RTX processors.
76 billion transistors, so the leaks
Processor,
are right.
90 teraflops, over 2 times the previous generation. Ada's SM
The leaks are right.
includes a major new technology called shader execution reordering, which reschedules work on the fly, giving a 2 to 3 times speed up for ray tracing. SCR
Oof.
is as big an innovation as out-of-order execution.
3x ray tracing,
Second,
that's a big
new
deal.
RT core with twice the ray triangle intersection throughput, and 2 important new hardware units. A new opacity micromap engine speeds up ray tracing of alpha test geometry by a factor of 2 times. And a new micromesh engine which increases geometric richness without the BVH build and storage cost. And third, a new tensor core with the Hopper FP8 transformer engine and 1.4 petaflops of tensor processing. Raw ray tracing horsepower is not enough to ensure high frame rates. Ray tracing
DLSS.
is notoriously hard to parallelize.
That's what we're looking for.
Rays bounce in every direction and intersect surfaces of various types.
That's what matters to me. Give me better
Highly
DLSS.
parallel and most efficient when processing similar work at the same time. Ray tracing workloads lead to different threads processing different shaders or accessing memory that is hard to coalesce or cache.
CPU usage.
Shader execution reordering, SCR, improves execution efficiency by rescheduling shading workloads on the fly to better utilize the GPU resources. We're
that's
seeing up to 2 to 3 times
that's
increase
how
in
they're gonna
efficiency,
tell you you need to buy the new GPU to get the DLSS improvement.
Like accelerated computing, computer graphics is a full stack challenge. Breakthroughs require innovation in architecture and design.
You see what he's
as
doing?
well
He's
as
explaining you
algorithms.
how this new
For example,
GPU
NVIDIA's
has
RTX GI
a
uses
different
ray tracing to do real-time, multi-bounce
architecture
indirect lighting.
for DLSS.
DI
So now you need to buy the new GPU to get the DLSS 3.0.
Casting shadows for all lights. RTX DI
Man.
uses emissive surfaces such as billboards,
I knew it.
TV screens,
I knew it.
tubes. NVIDIA real-time denoisers is a spatial temporal denoising technique that takes an incomplete ray-traced image and infers the ground truth, reducing the number of rays needed. And DLSS, Deep Learning Super Resolution, is one of our greatest achievements. Ray tracing requires insane amounts of computation. Each frame of a CGI movie takes hours to render. We want to do this in real time. NVIDIA RTX opened the world to real-time ray tracing. RT cores do BVH traversal and ray triangle intersection testing, which saves the SMs from spending
Man, I
thousands
really
of
hope
instructions on each ray.
it works
But
on
even
the
with RT cores,
on the 30
frame rates
series.
were too low for games. We needed another breakthrough.
Ah, Maria.
Enter deep learning. DLSS uses a convolutional autoencoder AI model and takes the low-resolution current frame and the high-resolution previous frame to predict on a pixel-by-pixel basis a high-resolution current frame. The AI model is trained to predict an ultra-high-resolution 16K reference image. The difference between the predicted and reference image is used to train the neural network. The process is repeated tens of thousands of times until the network can predict a high-quality image. Ada introduces DLSS 3, a new AI that generates entirely new frames rather than just pixels. DLSS 3 has 4 components: a new optical flow accelerator, game engine motion vectors, a convolutional autoencoder AI frame generator, and our reflex super low latency pipeline. DLSS 3 processes the new frame and the prior frame to discover how the scene is changing. The optical flow accelerator provides the neural network with the direction and velocity of pixels from frame to frame. Pairs of frames from the game, along with the geometry and pixel motion vectors, are then fed into a neural network that generates the intermediate frames. DLSS 3 generates entirely new frames without processing the graphics pipeline, boosting game performance by up to 4 times over brute force rendering. Because DLSS 3 generates a new frame without involving the game,
You need to buy the new
it
GPU.
benefits both GPU and CPU
Mother.
limited games. For CPU limited games, like physics heavy or large world games, DLSS 3 allows the Ada GPU
I knew it.
to render the game at a much higher frame rate than the CPU is able to compute the game. DLSS 3 is one of our greatest neural.
And you need to buy the GPU to
Here is
use it,
Cyberpunk
the new one.
2077, shown in all
I knew it, man.
ray tracing mode with
I knew it.
SCR and DLSS 3.
I knew it. It was not gonna work on the 30 series, and that's stupid, man. That's
Pushing
crazy.
the state-of-the-art graphics into the future
That's
takes
crazy.
an incredible amount of computational horsepower. In a modern game like Cyberpunk, we run over 600 ray tracing calculations for every pixel just to determine the lighting. That's a 16 times increase from the time we first introduced real-time ray tracing 4 years ago. Yet the number of transistors
Because that is a big
available in
deal.
GPU to run
DLSS
these calculations
is the
will
best
increase
feature
at that rate.
that Nvidia
That's
has.
the power
Absolutely.
of RTX. We can deliver
So-
a 16 times increase in 4 years.
What I was
Artificial
expecting was basically
intelligence. Pixels are calculated,
use DLSS and have that GPU be relevant for a very long time
because of the real
with
differences
DLSS.
in the giant worlds.
But now,
It is one
DLSS 3.0 introducing, you need to buy the 40 series.
40th anniversary.
Yeah, he's going to now start bragging about
DLSS 3
how
flight
good
simulator is silky smooth.
how good is DLSS 3.0, and then he's gonna tell you you need to pay for it, okay? We want your money again. That's not fair, man. That's not fair. Because right now, like I said, I am not sure. But right now, I believe that DLSS 2.0 is all software. It is not using the Tensor Core. Correct me if I am wrong. The first iteration of DLSS, it was using the Tensor Cores, but there was a latency problem, so they just changed it to everything being software based. So I believe, and I'm not sure, but I believe that DLSS 2.0 should run on all GPUs, including AMD. But you know, they're not gonna do that. And now 3.0 introducing this new shader that is required, and so basically you need to buy the new GPU to use the DLSS. The whole point of using DLSS is to boost gaming performance, to get higher frame rate, but also to keep that GPU relevant for a long time, because you don't need the GPU doesn't need to push 4K. The GPU can do very well at lower resolution. So for example, that 3080 I have, how long can that 3080 be good for gaming? Can be good for gaming for a very long time, especially at 1440p. That 3080 12 gigabytes at 1440p is a beast. You can get over 90 frames on every single game on the market. So it's gonna be a 60 frames per second game GPU at 1440p for a very long time. So if you can make 1440p look like 4K, you have a 4K GPU forever basically. at least for the lifetime of the card. But now, introducing DLSS 3.0 with this new shader that blah blah blah, you need to buy the new one.
We did it with Omniverse.
I knew it.
Modding is a massive culture. Everyone is a creator. There are millions of modders, and billions of mods are downloaded each year. In fact, 9 of the 10 most popular competitive games owe their existence to mods. We created an Omniverse application called RTX Remix for game modding. Start the game and capture the game into USD, which is loaded into Omniverse. Here, we're using Elder Scrolls Morrowind from Bethesda, one of the top modded games of all time. Once in RTX Remix, the AI-assisted toolset has deep learning models to up-res textures and assets, and an
That's
AI model
huge.
to convert materials to have physically accurate properties. The rich Omniverse ecosystem of creative tools
That's
can then be
huge.
used to enhance the game assets. When done, export the RTX mod pack and play the game with the RTX render.
That is huge. That's a big deal. That's improving textures, lighting. That's huge. Absolutely massive. I need that for Red Dead Redemption 2. So I can be
RTX Remix is incredible tech and the most advanced
Really
game
satisfied.
modding tool ever created.
That's huge.
Portal RTX and RTX Remix will be available shortly after Ada launch. RTX neural rendering algorithms run on programmable shaders, RT cores, and tensor cores to create amazing images. The total processing throughput of Ada is a massive lead over the Ampere generation, and the performance shows. For rasterized games, Ada is up to 2 times faster, and it's 4 times faster for ray traced games.
Holy.
Ada is incredibly energy efficient, over twice the performance at the same power compared to Ampere, and you can really push Ada. We've overclocked Ada past 3 gigahertz in our labs. RTX reinvented graphics. Now Ada is paving the way for future games to be fully simulated worlds like Racer X. Today we're announcing our highly anticipated
Here we go.
Nvidia Ada
Here we go.
Love-Lace GPU.
Get your cash ready.
The GeForce
Woo!
RTX 4090.
Woo!
Nvidia engineers push technologies on every front.
$1,600.
USM with shader execution, new RT core.
It's not that bad.
New
I
tensor
thought it was gonna be like
FBA
2,000.
transformer engine, and a pixel processing 300 TOPS optical flow accelerator
Huh.
for DLSS 3. Overall, 4 times more processing throughput.
4
Compared to the
times.
world's reigning GPU champion,
Huh.
3090 Ti. 4090 is 2 times faster on Microsoft Flight Simulator, 3 times faster on Portal RTX, and 4 times faster on Racer X. The GeForce RTX 4090,
Here we go.
the new heavyweight champ,
Woo!
is $1599. Available October 12th.
Whoa!
The GeForce RTX 4080 comes in 16 gigabyte and 12 gigabyte versions.
Oh.
4080 is 3 times the performance of 3080 Ti on Racer X. 4080 starts at $899. The best
$1,200.
gaming platform in the world just got better.
Woo.
Our 30 series, starting at $329, are the best GPUs in the world serving mainstream gamers. RTX 4090 and RTX 4080 GPUs, starting at $899, deliver the ultimate performance to enthusiasts. The Ada Lovelace generation advances all 3 RTX processors, the engines of neural rendering. Ada is a quantum leap for gamers and paves the way for creators of fully simulated worlds like Omniverse.
Bro, the pricing is not bad. The pricing is not bad, man. I was expecting a lot more. 2,000 for the 4090, the 4080, $1,400-$1,500. The pricing is not that bad. With the inflation and everything. I mean, they are sky high. The pricing has been going up and up, but it's just the way it is for every single thing. It's just the reality. And I think these GPUs should be available um, at least 3 months, 3 to 6 months after release. They should be available because the mining boom is already over. Let me check the recording and see how the battery is doing. Yeah, it's still doing good. So they should be available. It shouldn't be like last time, man. Let me pick up my money. Bro. Yeah. I was like, I'm not gonna buy it, but man, that DLSS 3.0, it is a big deal, but it is just crazy that they locked the DLSS 3.0 to the new series. And the reason I'm saying that, and I might be wrong, I hope I'm wrong, the reason I'm saying that is because he was explaining that there is this a specific block of shaders to accelerate the the DLSS with the new Ada Lovelace GPUs. So if he's saying that, he's implying that you need the new GPU for DLSS 3.0, which is crazy. But yeah, so now what are the games going to do? Because here's the way it works. DLSS, the developer needs to send the game to this. Yeah, so the developers, he's gonna talk now. He's gonna start talking about the metaverse. So the developers, they need to send the game to be AI trained. So basically, what he was explaining, and I've heard that before. What they do with AI is they compare on the game the assets of the game in very high resolution, and they train an AI to generate images, to guess pixels basically. So the AI has a reference that is 16K. Okay, so basically the computer, what it does is, it does something, and does that image looks closer to the 16K? Yes. Okay, we're doing good. It doesn't, we're not doing good. So it starts guessing and guessing and guessing until it gets as close as possible to a higher resolution image. So what's gonna happen with DLSS, with this new DLSS 3.0, is that maybe the game is going to come either with 2.0 or 3.0. It's not gonna come with both. So if they release a game with only DLSS 3.0, and it's very demanding because it's designed to take advantage of the ray tracing of these new GPUs, then basically you're screwed if you have a 30 series. I hope those games like, I don't know, the new Black Myth Wukong, which is Unreal Engine 5 blurry TAA Force. I hope that game comes with DLSS 2.0 and 3.0, something like that, because if it comes 3.0 locked, then we're screwed. Or maybe, hopefully, it's gonna work on the 30 series, hopefully. Maybe it works, but it's a little bit slower. I'm okay with that. But I hope at least it works. The ray tracing difference is amazing. If you can do path tracing, that's what's really gonna make the difference. Because for me, ray trace reflections are important, but it doesn't make the difference I want for the performance loss. Because screen space reflections, they look good enough. The problem is when you no longer have the object that is being reflected, when you no longer have that object on screen, then you don't see it. but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make because the performance loss is too much. But what I really like is the ray trace global illumination. That really makes a difference. So if I can get that setting, for example, on Cyberpunk without losing, losing like 10 frames maybe. Well, 10 frames is a lot. But losing like 5 frames, that's okay. That's a good compromise. So that's why they were talking about Cyberpunk, because it's basically the most demanding ray trace game we have, I think, right now. But what I'm really interested is in path tracing to get with this Nvidia overlay. You see, when we open the games, we can Alt F3. We have this Nvidia overlay. What I wish is that they come up with path trace button there. Right now they have a ray trace button for supported games. So if you have a super powerful GPU like that and you open an older game, you can just path trace the game and it's gonna look unreal, like Minecraft or this Quake 2. So yeah, he's talking about now the science and all of that thing. I don't think this is interesting anymore. I don't know if I should end the video before it. Maybe he's gonna talk about something more interesting down the line. But I think we got everything we needed so far. Let's see if I can still keep recording. Yeah, so basically, this new series of GPUs are a good price in my opinion. The prices are good. I heard that the 4080 is not gonna be the same chip for the 16 gigabyte model and the 12 gigabytes. So the 12 gigabytes should be a 4070 Ti, because it's not the same 103. It's like 104, I think. So definitely get the 16 gigabytes. It's $1,200, but I think that's a good price in comparison with what we have. I mean, it's a very expensive GPU, but it is what it is. The price is not bad, because that card is gonna be like, I don't know, like 70% faster than the 3090, I think. So that's not bad. That's not bad. So that's the one. Yeah, but then you think about, should I stretch the money a little bit and get the 4090? It might be worth it, especially to get that VRAM. I don't know. It's not an easy decision, but maybe it does make sense. $1,800 for the 3090, for the 4090. It's a lot of money, man. The problem is the games are still not good enough, in my opinion. The games. So if I have games that look like the demo that he was showing, that racing demo, I would definitely pull the trigger. Like if I have a lot of games that are path trace and the video card is able to do path tracing, and I can improve every single game that I have with DLSS, and every single game I can do path tracing and the performance is good, then it would make a lot of sense. So yeah, he's talking about things that I don't care about right now. Let me rewind this and see if he starts talking about something else. Omniverse Cloud. I don't care about that. Let's see if we have any car computers. Yeah, car computers. So I might, I'm gonna watch that later, but I don't want to use the video to do that. Let's see if we have anything else, like a conclusion maybe or something. Is that a game? What is that?
It's the end. Would you like me to navigate there? Yes, please. Beginning drive pilot.
Woo! Man, the problem I have with that kind of uh, technology is if the car is driving itself, why, like, you can go to sleep. That's why I would be interested in that, so I can go on a long trip and just go to sleep. Otherwise, why would you make the car drive for you? That makes no sense. But it is very impressive for sure, and it's the future for sure. For sure, you finish your job, just enter your car, get me home, and just go to sleep, and the car do its thing. Real-time hardware in the loop. Real-world sensor data. Extracted map features. Okay, so let me rewind this, see if we have anything else that's interesting for gaming.
A tiny robotics computer that is 80 times faster than our previous super popular Jetson Nano.
I think that's it. We don't have anything else. Let's see the conclusions maybe. Just to see if there is any other details. I mean, that's the things that really matter for medical applications and stuff and driving. But we care about gaming, bro. We don't care about none of that. Medical.
Today we're announcing that Active Surgical, Proxima, and Moon Surgical
It's a big deal.
build their surgical robotic systems on Nvidia Keynote
Oh,
running on the Orin IGX platform.
it's a big deal for medicine.
With universal skills. But building robotic systems share common methods and tools. Robotics require two computer systems. One being the AI factory for developing the robot AI.
I was expecting to hear him say, it just works.
In fact,
Everything works.
autonomous cleaning,
But he was not explaining the penumbra and all of that.
and last mile delivery bots. AMRs don't
It just
need
works.
fixed, pre-programmed tracks and can autonomously navigate from waypoint to waypoint.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Factories. Replicator for synthetic data generation. Isaac set with connector.
Dynamic data-driven decisions.
Yeah, that's it.
During the layout
Oh
and
no, it's
operation
live. It's
of
still
the
live.
apps. Isaac Sim in the cloud lets us tap
So
into
it is
the
still
superior
live.
performance of Nvidia
So I don't know how long this video is already. I have never uploaded such a long video. I'm gonna try it. See if there is anything else interesting here. Yeah, I just want to see the conclusions because I would like to have clear that DLSS. He's not gonna make that any more clear than that. You need you need to give them your money again. Oh man, what am I gonna do? I said I'm not gonna buy it, but it's not looking bad. The problem here's the problem, man. I already played every single game. Like what do I want a new GPU for? To play what? I played all the games already. So the game development is so slow, in my opinion. Sometimes you think, oh, I have so many games, but not really.
You can get the cloud-ready Omniverse VMI virtual machine image and Isaac containers and deploy it on any public cloud. For AWS,
Not really.
we've gone one step further.
We don't have a lot of games. They come so slow, man. So slow.
Isaac containers in the marketplace.
Look at that GTA 6, so many years.
You can pull the Isaac container from the marketplace and connect Isaac Sim
It is too low, too slow. So if you get a high-end gaming PC,
Isaac
you should wait, like, in my opinion, at least 3 years for an upgrade to make sense because you already played those games. It's not only the performance. So let's say I can get right now with the 4080 from my 3080 12 gigabytes to that 4080, or let's stretch that to the 4090. I'm gonna get 2x plus performance on every single game. So let's think about that. 2x performance. Will that make a difference in Cyberpunk? Absolutely. Absolutely, I'm gonna be able. So right now on Cyberpunk, if I max out the game completely, all ray tracing max out, and I use DLSS, I get like 30 frames per second. So with that 4090, I'm sure I'm gonna get like 70 frames per second. With Cyberpunk max out, ray tracing max out, everything max out, but 4K DLSS, I'm gonna get like 70 frames per second. But they're talking about DLSS 3.0 and they show Cyberpunk, so you know the update is coming. So who knows what you're gonna get with that. So that's definitely a huge upgrade, okay? For a huge amount of money, but it is a huge upgrade. But I don't care about the game. I don't like it anyway. I don't like it. I'm not even playing the game. Even with the new update, I see that they improve a lot. Especially the responsiveness of the game it was greatly improved. I remember at the beginning that game was so unresponsive and ugly. I mean, they improved it a lot, but it's still not good enough. I don't like that game. So let's think about another game. Watch Dogs 2. Watch Dogs Legion. The ray tracing is very demanding, but it's very demanding on the CPU. But now he was talking about this DLSS. He was talking about the computing power from the needed from the CPU. So I'm not sure if that DLSS takes away processing needed from the CPU, that would be a big deal. And I think he was talking about something like that when he was explaining the processing required for ray tracing. He was explaining this new shader on the 40 series, and he was talking about the CPU requirement. So then that would make sense, because on Watch Dogs Legion, if I max out ray tracing, I have a 5800X3D CPU. So if I do that, then I cannot get more than 60 frames. So it doesn't matter. I get the 4090. The 4090 is going to be like at 60%, like this, like it's not even working. So what I would have to do is max out the game, use Nvidia DLSS, and get a performance that is mediocre. So that doesn't make any sense. Let's think about another game, another demanding game. Of course, if you play competitive, now instead of having to lower settings to play at high frame rate, you can just max out the game and just blast through it. And the CPU is still gonna be the limiting factor. So for example, on Warzone you can get like 120. I get 120 on Warzone, but I need to lower the DLSS quality. So I can now max out the DLSS quality with the game max out and run it at 120, and it's gonna be rock solid. It barely drops. There are some times that it drops. There are some areas that it drops. But that game doesn't look that good in my opinion. If you like the game, I used to play Warzone the previous season, but when they changed it to the forest, I didn't like that forest. It looked so ugly in my opinion. The graphics. But that's a competitive game. Nobody cares about how good the graphics look. So let's think about Fortnite, for example. On Fortnite, if you enable ray tracing, on Fortnite, you get like 30 frames. So that makes no sense. And again, the CPU is a limiting factor. So DLSS 3.0 is going to make a huge difference for ray tracing if it can take away the ray tracing CPU processing requirements. But I highly doubt it's gonna be like that. It would be amazing, but I don't think. The reason why I'm speculating that is because he was mentioning something like that. Let's see what other game I can think of. Is there any game? So this is the question I would suggest you to ask you right now. If you have a high-end gaming PC, let's say you have a 2080 Ti or something, is there any game you're struggling to play that you want to play? Of course, if you have an LG C1, uh, any of these OLED 4K 120 TVs, to get that you definitely need a 30 series. But maybe if you have a 3070, for example, 3070 might be struggling a little bit to hit that 4K 90 frames sample and hold sweet spot. Because for me, sample and hold, the sweet spot is 90 frames. You need to get more than 90 frames, otherwise it's too blurry when you move the camera. It's too blurry. So that's why I recommend play at 60 with black frame insertion is a lot better. Uh, but yeah, if you have a 3070 and you get a 4080, that's massive, massive. It's huge. But if you have a 3070, maybe that's the kind of card. So you always purchase the 70 class card, or maybe get that 4080 12 gigabytes. It was like $900, I think. That's gonna make a massive difference. That 4080 12 gigabytes is gonna be a lot faster than the 3080 12 gigabytes I have. A lot faster, probably 70% faster. I don't know. I'm guessing. I don't know how much faster it's gonna be. Ray tracing for sure is gonna be 2x the ray tracing. But in rasterized performance, I'm not sure. It should be like 70% faster at least. So that's massive. That's gonna be 70% faster than the 3080 12 gigabytes. So imagine from the 3070 to the 4080 12 gigabytes is gonna be huge. But I think the price for that card, it might not be very good, because based on the leaks, that 4080 is not the